Good morning. It is 8 a.m. on Tuesday, November 12th, 2024. I call the Economic Development Authority meeting to order. First item of business is roll call. We do have 4 members present, which is a quorum. Item 2.1, EDA, October 8th, 2024 minutes.
Good morning, Commissioners and President Markgraf. You have the report in your packet. One item that isn't in your report that I wanted to mention under the Section 8 program.
This is the minutes yet.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
I didn't have any questions. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the EDA October 8th, 2024 meeting.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 3.1, Administrative Activities, October 2024. Director Bregel.
All right, now, I won't repeat what I already said, but I did want to mention under the Section 8 report, we've been notified that Linderhoff Park Apartments is going to be giving up their project-based vouchers. So they have 56 units in their building, and it's my understanding that HUD will, at some point in the future, give us tenant protection vouchers to offer to those tenants. They can either use them to stay there if they don't want to move, or they can use them elsewhere. So I'm waiting for more information on that, and I don't think I'll find anything more about that until after the first of the year. But I just wanted to have that on your radar. And then also we've been approached by the Pipestone Housing Authority. They are wanting to end their Section 8 voucher program, and so they approached us about taking their vouchers. So we are in talks with them, and that would need board approval if we decided to move forward. But both of those items, if they happen, would substantially add to our workload for the Section 8 program, and I may then also need another housing aid to help with the workload. So I'm trying to sort that all out, and when I have it figured out and I'm ready to bring it to you for formal action, I will. I just wanted to give you a heads up.
Can I
Go ahead.
have a couple questions now, or should I wait?
You
The
can ask
tenant
now.
protect thing, is that if they want to stay and don't want to move, is that just for 1 year?
I don't believe so.
It's inevitable.
No, I think it would work like our vouchers work.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then does that affect our budget? Or do we have to wait until that's?
I believe there would be additional funding that comes along with that, with both the Linderhoff vouchers, if we get those, and with the Pipestone vouchers, if we take those. We would get the funding for those vouchers as well, so that would, in a sense, pay for the additional staffing that we would
Okay,
need.
thanks, sorry.
Moving on then to the public housing program, just wanted to mention that the solar panels on our 10 family unit rental houses have passed all of their tests and are live, so they've been turned on. And they're coming to do the final test on the Broadway House apartments tomorrow, and if that goes well, those will be turned on, and that project will be completed. We had a lot of delays this summer with all the rain we had, getting them installed on the roofs and getting them through all their various testing that they need to be done. So I will be glad to wrap that project up. Under the Home Buyer Assistance Loan Program, note 1 new application was received and approved. Those are all of the items I wanted to highlight, but I'm happy to answer any questions.
I don't have any questions. I'll make a motion to approve the administrative activities report for October of 2024.
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 4.1, Section 8, Housing Choice Voucher Program 2025 budget.
All right. We have to pass a budget for the program every year. We currently have 127 tenant-based housing choice vouchers to provide to households in Brown County to help them afford their rent. So the participants in the program pay 30 to 40% of their household income toward their rent, and then we make a payment directly to their landlord for our subsidy. We receive federal funding for this program, both for the payments that go to the landlords as well as administrative fee funds that help pay for the office expenses and the staffing to run the program. This budget would be from January 1st, 2025 through December 31st, 2025, and it's based on our costs from the current year. We don't know what our funding levels will be for 2025 yet. Congress hasn't passed the budget for that time period, so we're just making our best guess based on prior months. The budget is included. If there are any questions, I will answer those.
If there's no questions, I'll make for the motion for the resolution to approve the Section 8 Housing Choice Voucher Program for 2025 budget.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? It seems pretty simple. I like these pretty simple budgets.
Yeah, it's pretty status quo.
Okay. All in favor say aye.
Oh, it's a resolution.
Oh, sorry, resolution. Director Barkle, please call the roll.
All right, Commissioner Berg? Yes. Commissioner Hulk?
Yes.
Commissioner Betker?
Yes.
And President Markgraf?
Yes, that motion carries. Item 5.1, EDA November 12th, 2024 claims list.
I looked it over and I didn't see anything out of the ordinary. Looks like normal expenses. I'll make a motion to approve the EDA November 12th, 2024 claims list.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 6.1, 2025 Garden Terrace budget.
All right, this is our final budget to approve for 2025. Lloyd Management manages these properties for us, and they prepare the budget every year. They have given us what they propose the rents be for the upcoming year. You can see how that compares. Currently, a one-bedroom is $950. They're proposing an increase to $1,025. A one-bedroom den will go from $1,050 to $1,125. Two-bedroom is currently $1,150. They're proposing an increase to $1,225. Two-bedroom corner is currently $1,250. They're proposing an increase to $1,325. The two bedrooms with a den, both small and medium, are currently $1,350, and they're proposing an increase to $1,425. And the two-bedroom den, large, they're proposing an increase from $1,450 to $1,550. So I believe most of the increases are $75, with a few exceptions. For the premium units is a $100 increase, and that's to keep them in line with market rate rents. They manage a lot of properties, so they know what the going rate is, so I trust their recommendations. Otherwise, I don't think there's any major changes to the budget. If the rent increases are approved, the tenants would be notified by the end of this month, and the rent increase would go into effect January 1st. Even though we're in the process of selling the building, we still do need to pass a budget. We don't have a closing date, so we just need to continue going through the motions until ownership transfers.
On the expense side, I noticed a big increase for the janitor payroll expense.
Yeah, there's also an on-site manager expense. They are budgeting, I think it's a 5% pay increase. I don't know if that also includes their benefits, because that seems like it would be a more than a 5% increase, doesn't it? I can double check that number. With them. Or it's possible it could be a typo too, but I will double check that.
Like 68 instead of 86.
Could be.
Okay.
Very well could be.
I've done that before.
Yeah, that does seem high.
They could have added another part-time position or something like, do you think?
Yeah, I'll check into that and I can send you all an email when I find out.
That was the only question I had.
No, my only question was when is the closing, but we don't know.
We don't know. We signed the purchase agreement. That's done. They requested a lot of information. That's all been sent over. So I think they're just working through their financing and their property insurance. So they will let us know. They were wanting to close the last weekend in November, and then they realized that was Thanksgiving weekend. So they said it would probably be the first week in December. But I can follow up on that too and see if there's any news. I know they wanted to close before the end of the year because something to do with Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac. Some program that's available that won't be available after the end of the year. So they are trying to get it done as soon as possible. So I'll see what I can find out on that too.
All right.
If there's no more comments about the budget, I'll offer the resolution to adopt the 2025 Garden Terrace budget.
I will also second that.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? It is a resolution. Please call the roll.
All right, Commissioner Berg,
Yes.
Commissioner Kalk,
Yes.
Commissioner Betker,
Yes.
President Markgraf.
Yes, that resolution carries. Item 7.1, Economic Development Activity Report.
All right, Commissioners and President Markgraf, I'll just highlight a couple items. At our partnership meeting last month, we met Newbrick's new executive director and spent a lot of time just going around the table introducing ourselves to him and then having him introduce himself to us. So there wasn't a lot otherwise discussed at that meeting. The child care team, we have our annual appreciation and training event this weekend for the local child care providers, and we are working on recognition of Westridge Place's 1-year anniversary, which is coming up next month. Under the Small Business Incentive Grant Program, note the application window opened November 1st for the 2025 grant cycle. We'll continue taking applications through the end of the year. I've received 4 or 5 already. Then, let's see. I don't think there was anything else worth mentioning, so.
Thank you, Heather. I'll make a motion to accept the Economic Development Activity Report for October 2024.
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. There being no further items, this meeting is dismissed.
It was funny.